Bob and his beautiful wife Annetta settled in Orlando 33 years ago. And Bob has a secret love-hate relationship. His background in New England is part of Bob's secret. And Bob's revealing topic is raking leaves, one of life's great torments and a true measure of one's character. Please welcome Bob Lickman.
Thank you so much, Michelle. We can understand and anticipate some of life's most painful challenges, but the ones that give us the most heartbreak are the ones that are least expected. For how can somebody prepare for a curse that start out innocently as pure yard maintenance? Well, my story starts out in New England, growing up there and watching the wonderful changes and seasons from winter to summer and back again. And of course, one of the reasons we moved to Florida is because of the cold and snow. However, I've added something else. You see, tucked away between summer and winter is fall. Now, fall is a holiday of colors. On one hand, the beauty is the changing of the leaves. But on the other hand, is the falling of the leaves. Or, as we say, the curse. The non-stop raking of dead material, which we must do. I mean, who wants dead stuff all over your property? So one of the perks of going to Florida is, for me, it was my emancipation from raking leaves. After all, who remembers a rock portrait of somebody raking up piles of palm leaves in a family setting? Just is not possible. So we bought a house in Wekiva, beautiful area surrounded by woods and pine trees. And unfortunately, as time went on, the pine trees succumbed to disease, and in the aftermath, grew these little saplings around the front of the house. Now, first didn't pay attention to them, but we kept one or two that were the bigger ones. And then, one day, I woke up and looked outside my front door, and there they were. 2 oak trees standing together like 2 Trojan horses bearing gifts of green foliage for everybody to admire and enjoy. Well, all went well for a while. Then one fateful November day, they started falling as little brown snowflakes, dotting the landscape, sort of silently saying to everybody, "We're here." I didn't pay attention to them at first. Part of the reason was they were insignificant. But then as they got more plentiful, I really began to, let's just say, I would peacefully coexist with them. So when I did that, history teaches us that appeasement is doomed to failure. So what happened is the next Saturday it began, where the landscape that was so familiar to me was now overcome by brown carpet of dead leaves suffocating my beautiful St. Augustine lawn. So it was heartbreaking, but you know, I had resolve, and I knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. It could never happen again. So, back to normal. Was I mistaken? Yes, because the next Saturday, the wretched leaves returned again. And this time, I had my trusty rake in hand, and I called it Old Broken Rake. And along with its splintered handle, I was determined to get rid of all the leaves because I knew in my heart that only so many leaves can fall from 2 trees, right? So I knew it would soon pass. Again, I was really mistaken because this time around, a cold front came in and it was raining and there was a lot of wind blowing. So, I prepared for the worst. What I was unprepared for was, it was not only worse, it got even more worse than that. So what I did at that particular time was I raked, but waves of depression and heartache overcame me. And suddenly I became very religious. I said, God, why are you doing this to me? Why have you singled me out of all neighbors to have this special curse? And then I thought of it. It came to me immediately. This is a test. I've been tested. And then a picture of Jonah flashed through my eyes. And then, with lots of resolve and determination, I whispered, if Jonah can do his trials and tribulations, mine was a piece of cake. But did it get better? No, it got worse. Because this time, in addition to my own leaves, the neighbor's sycamore tree was shedding these huge, terrifying leaves that the wind was blowing onto my property, sort of giving aid and company to the enemy oaks. Well, at this point, I was beside myself, and I decided on something that was unthinkable. Now see, I'm not a violent person. I don't believe in corporate punishment, either for my children or for anybody else. But I wanted to kill that sycamore tree. And I wanted to cut it down, chop it up. But of course, I knew the neighbor would be amiss that something was going on here. And so I decided I was going to poison the tree, but make it look like an accident.
No.
So my nonviolence, however, got the best of me, and I didn't do that. But I resorted to something else. I resorted to the following. I was going to have an exorcism performed right at the base of these 2 oak trees. But then I thought, wait a minute, exorcisms are pretty violent. And in all the movies, so I decided, and by the way, has anybody looked up the cost of a good exorcist today? So kind of forget it. So I prayed, and lo and behold, the sun came out. And the weeks of leaves seemed to decrease each week. And all of a sudden there was a restoration of the land, and before as it was in olden times. And the family rejoiced. So I had more Saturday to myself. So I could do things of pleasure, like my honey-do list. Well, as my honey-do list goes, I will say this, that I did spend time recalling the horrible time that I had where emotions overwhelmed me, and week after week after week. And I realized at the apex was my salvation, my Armageddon. My arm getting tired and my feet were hurting, and that was it. So I look now fondly at the Saturdays that pass, and they pass basically in a very casual manner, no purpose. And then I started thinking, I'm longing for those days where I did suffer, yes, and I did have the tenacity, using this as a weapon, a shield, to conquer myself every weekend, victory after victory. But you know something? I'm looking at when the next fall season starts again, the falling of the leaves. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it was one hell of an adventure.